off the pose. And a photo finish that doesn't deserve a loser.
Baskin wins the Queen's Plate with disdainful ease.
Sophia's Prince, an outstanding performance. 114 and 2/5. That is a track record. Thereof, office step so was ice. They called me on a Monday, and on a Wednesday they said they wanted me to call races and said no pressure. If it doesn't work out, you can go back to your job in the harness division. If we don't like the way you sound, we'll send you back to the harness division. But it's worked out. That's 23 years later. Well, we call thoroughbred races by associating the silks the jockeys are wearing with the horses' names. Now, there's probably 4,000 owners, so you have to have a short-term memory. You got 14 horses coming out for the first race. You memorize those 14, and as soon as the race is over, you have to forget them and memorize another 14. So a short-term memory is a great thing to have when you call thoroughbred races. Back in 1986, when I started calling thoroughbred races here, I was at a dinner party, and a trainer at the time, still around, but not a trainer, named Jerry Belanger said, "Kid, you know what you got to do? You got to get a hook, something that you'll be famous for, something that people associate just with you." Well, I went back home that day, and I'm heavily influenced because I'm just I'm treading water here. I'm trying to make my way through as a race caller at Woodbine. And I come up with something called picture time. If the photo's real tight, I say picture time. Picture time, another photo on a Wednesday night. My favorite race for me to call, it has to be the Queen's Plate. It's the biggest, it gets the biggest press coverage. It has the biggest focus in the local media. On Queen's Plate Day, when you get out of your car at 9:30 in the morning, there's electricity in the air. You can just feel it. It's like the 7th game of the Stanley Cup final. And your heart's pounding. You can't wait for the action to begin. And so it's never boring. It's never repetitive. There's always something exciting happening. Not